Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
دعاء الأذان. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وحبيبنا وسيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى أصحابه والتابعين وتابعين بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Respected gathering, we begin by praising Allah the Almighty for having given us all here the ability to come here today. To gather here today on this great day, this auspicious day, in the most blessed of places, the house of Allah, for the great occasion of Salatul Jumu'ah. And those who have come early, we thank Allah for having chosen us to come early and gain more reward than those people who will be coming after. In this world, amongst mankind, there are many differences. There are many differences which exist amongst mankind. Differences in race, differences in color, differences in position and status, differences in mentality, differences in religion and belief. In almost everything, you have a second opinion. You have two parties, you have pro and you have anti in almost everything. Even those things which there shouldn't be a second opinion, there shouldn't be a difference. More recently, the issue of marriage, where there shouldn't be a second opinion. However, there are people who believe and whose opinion it is that marriage can be between two males or two females. This is an example that differences exist in almost everything. However, there's one thing in life which makes everybody equal. One thing where there is no second opinion, where nobody has an opinion, nobody has any doubt. This one thing is indeed death. Death is an issue where everybody is unanimously agreed. Everybody unanimously agrees that death is something which everybody has to face. There is no party, no group in the world who are anti-death, who believe that death will not come to them. Death is the one issue in life where there is no second opinion, where everybody is made equal. Death, in our religion, it means to move, to transfer from one world to another world. We've heard the word intiqal. A person he's done intiqal, meaning intiqal in Arabic means to move from one place to another place. What we mean by intiqal, it means to leave this temporary world, the world that we're in now, and then move on to the next world by means of death. Death is not the ending. It is the ending of one world. It's not the ending of a person. It is the ending and the beginning of a new and an everlasting life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in many verses in the Holy Quran, He mentions death. In one well-known verse, He says, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. That every soul must face death. Everybody will have to face death. whoever they are, the prophets, the greatest of Allah's creations, they too will face death. They too have faced death. No matter how long they lived, they all face death. The Prophet Nuh, ala nabiyyina wa alayhi salam, he lived for more than 950 years, yet he still faced death. The Prophet Isa, ala nabiyyina wa alayhi salam, he has not died yet, he has not passed away, he has been raised to the heavens, but this doesn't mean that the angel of death has not come to him yet. But this doesn't mean that he has avoided death. He will return back to the world before the last day, and he will face a normal death. So every human being will face death. The prophets, the angels, they too will face death. And even the Prophet ﷺ, the most beloved of Allah's creation to Allah, even he, if Allah was to grant anyone salvation from death, then he would grant it to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. But Allah has made this clear in the Holy Quran. He has said to the Prophet ﷺ directly that إِنَّكَ مَيِّتٌ, that you will die, وَإِنَّهُمْ مَيِّتُونَ, and they will die. Nobody will be exempt from death. Even death, every creation, even death itself, the word death, the thing death will face death. How? On the day after the day of judgment, when everybody has been placed in wherever they deserve to be placed, death will be brought in the form of a sheep, of a lamb, and it will be shown to the dwellers of hell and the dwellers of paradise. And it will be said to them, it will be slaughtered and said to the people of hell, that khuludun, that now from now on it will be an everlasting life, no more death. Even death itself will face death. And death will come to any person in any place. Allah has made this clear. He said, wherever you may be, death will come to you. Even if you are placed in high, well-built towers, there is no defense against death. Wherever you may be, whether you're an astronaut and you've gone to space, if your time has come, you will die on Mars. If you're in a submarine in the bottom of the ocean and your time has come, you will die. For every person, his death has been written for him. When he will die, where he will die. Wherever you will die, whichever place has been written for you for your death, and that is the place where you will die. Even if you think, if your death has been written in China, in America, in Canada, then before death, there will be a reason for you to go there. Recently, a friend of mine, his father, they live in Bradford. His father, he went on Jamaat to Canada, and he died there because his death was written for him in Canada. Wherever your death has been written for you, you will die there. There will be a reason for you to go there, and your death will take place there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. Nobody knows where they will die. We may think that we may pass away in Southport Hospital, in a hospital ward. This may not be the case. This may be the case, but it may not be the case. Where we will die, whether we will die in Southport, we will die in Bangladesh, we will die in Mecca or Medina, no one knows where they will die. And there is no defense against death. Every soul must face death. This is the one thing where there is no cure. For every illness, we believe that there is a cure for every illness. Whether it be cancer or any illness, we believe there is a cure. Whether we found it or not is another case, but there is a cure for each and every illness. Allah has not placed an illness in this world without having given a cure. For every illness, there is a cure. But for the one thing that there is no cure is a death. If death could be avoided, if there was a defense, if death could be avoided by strength, if death could be avoided by power, if death could be avoided by wealth and fame, then there are many people in life who would easily be able to avoid death because of their power, because of their wealth, because of their fame. But look at history. Look at all the great people, all the powerful people. Look at Fir'aun. He said to his people, مَا لَكُم مِّنْ إِلَهٍ غَيْرِي أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. I am your Lord. He claimed to be God himself, but where is he today? His power, his strength did not save him from death. Nimrud, the king at the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was not the king of one country. He was not the king of one continent. He was the king of the whole world. He said himself, Ana uhyi wa umit, that I give life and I give death. But where is he today? Qarun, the Fir'aun's minister, he had wealth. How much wealth did he have? In the Holy Quran it is mentioned, his wealth is mentioned. It doesn't mention the amount of his wealth. It just says that وَآتَيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْكُنُوزِ مَا إِنَّ مَفَاتِحَ لَتَنُوءُ بِالْعُصْبَةِ أُولِي الْقُوَّةِ. That his wealth, forget how much wealth he had. Just the keys, the storerooms or the rooms where his wealth was kept, just the keys to these rooms where the wealth is kept, they were a burden for strong men. Just to carry the keys to his rooms where the wealth is kept, they were heavy enough for strong men to carry. If his keys were this heavy and this hard to lift, how much wealth do you think he had? Yet his wealth did not save him from death and the angel of death, and he too left this world. Look at Aad, the tribe of Aad and Thamud. They were given strength of which there is no like. The people of Aad, they said, who is more powerful? They were very proud of their power and strength, and they said, who can be stronger than us? But death did not avoid them. They too faced death. The tribe of Thamud, they were so strong, they could carve out houses from mountains in the same way that children play with plasticine, and they make shapes with plasticine with their bare hands. They, from a mountain, they could carve out with their bare hands and nails, they could carve out huge buildings, but their strength did not save them from death. Similarly, all the great and powerful people of our time and before our time, the people who lived a life thinking that they were above God, thinking that they would live forever and ever. They had fame, they had strength, they had power. The rulers of this time and before, who thought they owned the countries that they ruled. They thought they owned the people of their country, and they did with their countries and they did with their people what they felt like. But all this was not, they too were not saved from death. Death came to them, and it will come to each and every person. The great rulers, look at them today. Look at their life. Look at the lifestyle they led. Their palaces of marble and gold, and their beddings of silk, and today they are lying in a grave of mud and soil, and have become food for the insects of the ground. This is the fate that awaits everybody, and will await everybody, no matter who you are, no matter how much strength you have, how much power you have. Death does not fear anybody, nor will it have any mercy upon anybody. It will come to everybody at any time. For everybody, you have a fixed time of death. When that time comes, then you will have to leave the world. There is no suitable and appropriate time to die. Death may come to you. Death has no mercy upon, the angel of death will have no mercy upon people. It will take newborn babies away from the mother's lap. It will take a wife away from the husband on the wedding day. It will come to you on Eid day. It will come to you on any day of celebration. It will come at any time. there will be no suitable and no appropriate time for death. Whenever the time of death has come, the angel of death will come and take your soul away. Therefore, as Muslims, we should think that death could come at any time. Therefore, we should always pray to Allah. Oh Allah, give us death in a dignified manner. Give us a death in a dignified and in a respectful manner. Think before you do anything. Where am I today? Think if you go to the wrong places. If you're going clubbing. If you're in the wrong places. Think that if death was to come to me today, would I want to die on a dance floor with music booming all around me? Think. And this should be a deterrent from doing all the wrong things. Moving on, the most powerful thing in life, the most powerful advice is regarding death. There is nothing else in life. We hear about hell, we hear about the punishments of the grave and the hereafter, yet we don't feel as affected. Some people do, but a lot of people, because of the weakness of faith and the Iman, they don't feel as affected as they should do. However, death is something which will make a person ponder and think. It is something which will affect a person. However, for a person to be affected, he needs to understand death. He needs to understand death. And the truth is, death will not be understood. I can speak here for hours and hours. You can hear the subject of death, a talk on death from the most eloquent of speakers. However, you will not be as affected. We hear about people dying all around the world, people in their thousands, yet we don't feel as affected. We watch the news, 10,000 people have died in a tsunami, 200 people have died in an accident. We don't feel as affected. However, because the only time you will understand death is when you actually see death before your very own eyes. And the truth is, many people here, many of us have actually seen death. You will only understand death when death comes to you. Not when it comes to Syria or Palestine, when it comes to your own house, then you will truly understand death. If anybody wishes to understand what death is, even in this few minutes, then you should think. Look at your own family. Look at your own family. Look at your own relatives. And then ask yourself a few questions. Ask yourself in this very moment, where is my father today? I had a father at one time. Where is he today? I had a mother who gave birth to me. She was here beside me one time. Where is she today? I had a brother who I used to play with at one time. Where is he today? I had a daughter, I had a sister who used to do this for me and do that for me. Where are they today? Where are my grandparents? Where are my uncles? Where are my aunts? Ask yourself these questions and then think of the answer. You yourself know the answer better than anyone. There are many people. You may have been next to your mother when she was on her deathbed. You may have been the one who closed her eyes and who straightened her limbs. You may have been the one who gave her a bath and wrapped her in her coffin, in her shroud. You may have been the one who carried her on your own shoulders and you took her to a final resting place. And then you dug up a grave for her and you watched her disappear from the face of this earth. And then you yourself, upon your own father, upon your own mother, you threw earth and mud so that you could cover them and you could no longer see them. And you left them in this state where they became a part of the earth and they became food for the insects. And they entered a world where you have no knowledge of their state. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is aware of what their state of what state they're in at this moment. What you did with your own parents, one day your children will do the same to you. And this is the cycle of life. This is a cycle that will continue until the final day. Your parents have passed away, you will pass away, your children will pass away, and this will continue to happen. Therefore, respected gathering, death is something which we should all ponder over. Death will come to each and everyone, and prepare for death. Prepare for death. Death is a door through which everybody will enter. After that, what will be your fate, only Allah knows. It may be paradise if you worked for paradise, if you performed your salah, if you performed your hajj, if you stayed away from all those which Allah told you to stay away from, then paradise will be for you. If you had not, then the fire of hell is waiting. If you disobeyed Allah, if you lived a life in the way that you chose to live, then this is what is awaiting for you. But death is something we should all ponder over, and it's not something that we can wait for. Like I said, death can come at any time. There is no fixed time. Who says we will live till tomorrow? Who says we will live till this evening? Death can come at any time. And if you have this in front of you, the Prophet of Allah ﷺ says, he said in a hadith, that remember death as often. Remember death as often as you can. If you remember death, this will make you into a better person. It will make you understand the reality of life, that this life is not worth fighting over. This life is not worth losing sleep over. This life is not worth all the sacrifices that I am doing. When my time comes, I will have to go. I will leave behind all my houses. I will leave behind my wife, who I did this for and that for. I will leave all my businesses in a moment, for which I sacrificed my religion and my children for. And you will leave the world in the way that you came, empty-handed. Not a single penny will go with you. Not a single house will go with you. Not a single business will go with you. Not a single child, not a single wife will go with you. You will go in the way that you came, totally bare, nothing on you. The only thing that you will take with you is your actions, is your salah, if you had performed. You will take your hajj, if you had done your hajj. You will take only your actions if you had done them, or anything that you have done for the hereafter, the charity that you forwarded to the hereafter. These are the only things that you will take, nothing else. Therefore, once again, remember death as often as possible. Not only remember, if you remember death and you don't react, then you have not remembered in the correct way. Remember, think of those people who have left from your own family. Go home today and think, one day my father was sitting on this chair, where is he today? Think in this way, and it will help you become a better person. It will help you live life in a better way, and in a way that you need to live this temporary life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to remember death as often as possible, and also to prepare for death in the way that we need to. Quickly, a few announcements. Firstly, the clock will be changing this Saturday night or Sunday. The clock will be moving 1 hour forward. A reminder to everyone to move your clocks forward. And also, next week, Jumu'ah will be at 1:30. From next Friday, Salatul Jumu'ah will be at 1:30, and this will be the case until winter. We'll have 2 times for Jumu'ah, in summer at 1:15, and in the winter months in summer at 1:30, and in the winter months at 1:15. And also, as some of you have noticed, we have a few members of the local police force who are here today. They're here just to meet the local people. So if anybody has any time after Salah, just to go and say hello, or just to meet them, they would like to meet everybody, or in the same way, if you have anything to ask them, if you need to report a crime or own up to a crime, then you have the opportunity to do so. Jazakumullah khairan wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
आ गया ठंडा तो क्या बात है।
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي تفرد بالدوام والبقاء وكتب على أهل هذه الدنيا الفناء. أحمده سبحانه وهو أهل الحمد والثناء، وأشكره في السراء والضراء والشدة والرخاء. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له المتعالي عن الأمثال والنظراء. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبد الله ورسوله خاتم الأنبياء، صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله الأحياء وصحبه الأوفياء والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان ما دامت الأرض والسماء. أما بعد، فاتقوا الله عباد الله، واتقوا يوما ترجعون فيه إلى الله ثم توفى كل نفس ما كسبت وهم لا يظلمون. معاشر المسلمين، إن البشر قاطبة على كثرة اختلافهم في كل شيء، من أجناسهم وألوانهم ومنازلهم ودرجاتهم وأفكارهم وآرائهم وأديانهم وعقائدهم، كلهم أجمعون أتعون بدون استثناء، متفقون على شيء واحد ومستوون في أمر واحد، أمر لا يعارض ولا يكذب ولا ينكره إلا ميت، ألا إنه الموت. الموت وما أدراكم ما الموت. فالموت أيها المسلمون هو انتقال الإنسان من دار الزوال إلى دار الخلود، والرجوع إلى المحيي المميت. قال ربكم كل نفس ذائقة الموت، إن الموت حتم فلا محيص عنه ولا مفر منه، يصل إلينا على رؤوس الجبال وفوق الهواء وتحت الماء. أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت ولو كنتم في بروج مشيدة، وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت. فلا ينجو من الموت الأنبياء المرسلون ولا الملائكة المقربون ولا أحد من إنس أو جن أو حيوان. حتى الموت لا ينجو من الموت. كل من عليها فان، كل من عليها فان، ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام. ألا كل مولود فللموت يولد، ألا كل مولود فللموت يولد، ولست أرى حيا عليها يخلد. ولو جعل الله الخلود لأحد من خلقه لكان أولى بذلكم حبيبه المصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم، ولكنه قد نعاه إلى نفسه بقوله عز وجل: إنك ميت وإنهم ميتون. ولو نجا أحد من الموت لبسطة في جسمي وقوة في بدني أو وفرة في مالي وسعة في سلطانه وملكي لنجا من الموت كثير من الناس، لنجا من الموت كثير من الناس. وإلا فأين فرعون الذي قال أنا ربكم الأعلى؟ أين نمرود الذي قال أنا أحيي وأميت؟ أين عاد الذين قالوا من أشد منا قوة؟ أين ثمود الذين كانوا ينحتون من الجبال بيوتا؟ أين نجوم الشاشة والمعبودون من البشر الذين عاشوا كيفما شاءوا ظنا بأنهم في الأرض خالدين مخلدين؟ أين الحكام؟ أين الحكام الظلمة الخونة الجبابرة؟ أين هم اليوم؟ أين الحكام الذين قالوا ما قالوا وفعلوا بخلق الله المقدس ما أرادوا ظنا بأنهم الآلهة مع الله الإله الواحد؟ أين هؤلاء اليوم؟ جاءهم ما يوعدون فلم يستأخروا ساعة ولم يستقدموا. طوتهم الأرض بعد حين فافترشوا التراب والتحفوا الثرى فأصبحوا خبرا بعد عين وأثرا بعد ذات. ولن يؤخر الله نفسا إذا جاء أجلها والله خبير بما تعملون. فالموت لا يخشى أحدا ولا يرحم نفسا أبدا. ينتزع الطفل من حضن أمه ويهجم على الشاب الفتى والفارس القوي. يجعل المرأة أرملة والولد يتيما. الموت لا والدا يبقي ولا ولدا هو السبيل إلى ألا ترى أحدا. أرى المرء يبكي للذي مات قبلا وموت الذي يبكي عليه قريب. وما الموت إلا كتاب مؤجل إلى ساعة يدعى لها فيجيب. وكل يوم علينا في فجائع طير يحوم فلا ندري بمن يقع. دخل المزني عند الإمام الشافعي في مرضه الذي مات فيه فقال: كيف أصبحت يا أبا عبد الله؟ فقال: أصبحت عن الدنيا راحلا وللإخوان مفارقا ولسوء عملي ملاقيا ولكأس المنية شاربا وعلى ربي سبحانه وتعالى واردا. ولا أدري أروحي صائرة إلى الجنة فأهنيها أو إلى النار فأعزيها. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من البيان. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله الغفار الغفور لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله على إحسانه والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله تعظيما لشأنه. وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الداعي إلى رضوانه صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى أتباعه وإخوانه. أما بعد فاتقوا الله عباد الله. واعلموا أن الواعظ الأكبر والنذير الأعظم هو الموت. وهذا إذا فهم المسلم الموت. ولكن أيها المسلمون لن تفهموا الموت أبدا من بلاغة البلغاء ولا من فصاحة الفصحاء. إنما تفهمون الموت إذا أتاكم وإن الموت قد أتى كل واحد منا مرارا وتكرارا ولكن تناسيتم وألهاكم التكاثر. يا مسلم، إن أردت أن تفهم الموت حق الفهم في هذه العجالة فانظر إلى نفسك، انظر إلى أفراد عائلتك، واسأل نفسك سؤالا ما. اسأل نفسك: أين أبي الذي رباني؟ أين هو اليوم؟ أين أمي التي ولدتني؟ أين هي اليوم؟ أين أخي الذي كان يلاعبني؟ أين هو اليوم؟ أين بنتي التي كانت تسرني؟ أين هي اليوم؟ أين عمتي وجدتي وخالتي وصديق الحبيب؟ أين هؤلاء اليوم؟ فأنت يا ابن آدم أعلم بهم. أنسيت يا ابن آدم لما كنت بجنب أمك إذ بلغت الحلقوم وأنت حينئذ تنظر؟ أنسيت لما غسلت أمك وألبستها كفنها؟ أنسيت لما حملت أمك على منكبيك ومشيت بها إلى أرض فلا؟ أنسيت يا ابن آدم لما حفرت حفرة ليس لعدوك بل لأمك ورأيتها بعينيك تتلاشى من فوق الأرض إلى تحتها؟ أنسيت يا ابن آدم لما رميت التراب على على وجه أمك الحنون، ورميت حتى اختفت أمك وأصبحت جزءا من الأرض وطعاما لحشراتها، ودخلت في حياة لا يعلم حالها إلا عالم الغيب والشهادة. يا ابن آدم، في حين من الدهر كانت أمك حية ولم تكن أنت شيئا، فولدتك فأنت اليوم حي، وأمك التي ولدتك لم تكن شيئا. هذا هو الموت يلعب بأرواحكم، وأنت يا ابن آدم في غفلة معرض. أيها المسلمون، لمثل هذا اليوم فأعدوا، لمثل هذا اليوم فأعدوا، إنه آتيكم من حيث لا تشعرون، إنه آتيكم من حيث لا تشعرون، وكفى بالموت واعظا. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: أكثروا من ذكر هذه اللذات، أكثروا من ذكر هذه اللذات، أكثروا من ذكر هذه اللذات. الموت باب وكل الناس داخلوه، الموت باب وكل الناس داخلوه، فليت شعري بعد الباب ما الدار دار نعيم إن عملت بما يرضي الإله، وإن خالفت فالنار. ألا صلوا وسلموا رحمكم الله على خير البرية وأزكى البشرية جمعاء، نبينا وحبيبنا محمد، فقد أمركم الله تعالى بهذا في كتابه المبين قائلا وآمرا: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد إمام المرسلين وخاتم النبيين، وارض اللهم عن الأربعة الخلفاء الراشدين أولي الفضل الجلي والقدر العلي، أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي، وارض اللهم عن عمي نبيك حمزة والعباس، وعن السبطين السعيدين أبي محمد الحسن وأبي عبد الله الحسين، وعن أمهما فاطمة الزهراء، وعن زوجات نبيك الطاهرات أمهات المؤمنين، وعن الصحابة أجمعين والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم أيد الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين، اللهم انصر دينك وكتابك وسنة نبيك وعبادك الصالحين. اللهم اجعل جميع بلاد المسلمين آمنة مطمئنة إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعل الأمن والأمان والاستقرار لزيم جميع بلاد المسلمين. اللهم ارحم إخواننا المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم نشكو إليك ظلم الظالمين على إخواننا في برما. اللهم نشكو إليك ظلم الظالمين على إخواننا في سوريا. اللهم نشكو إليك ظلم الظلمة على إخواننا في غزة. اللهم نشكو إليك ظلم الظالمين على إخواننا في شتى بقاع العالم. اللهم نشكو إليك، اللهم عليك نصرهم. اللهم وعدك وكان حقا علينا نصر المؤمنين. اللهم إن إخواننا في برما هم مؤمنون بك، هم مؤمنون برسولك، هم مؤمنون بكتابك. اللهم انصرهم كما وعدتهم وكما وعدتنا. اللهم نرجو وعدك وكان حقا علينا نصر المؤمنين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في برما، اللهم نجهم من الظلم، اللهم عجلهم بالنصر والفرج يا أرحم الراحمين، يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم ارحمهم برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء يا رحمن الدنيا والآخرة ورحيمهما. اللهم عليك بالظلم في كل مكان، اللهم عليك بالظلم في برما، اللهم عليك بالبوذيين الوحشيين. اللهم سلط عليهم رجزك وعذابك وغضبك إله الحق. اللهم اجعلهم عبرة للمعتبرين. اللهم أرحنا بتعذيبهم عذابا شديدا يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم عليك بالظلمة في كل مكان. اللهم لا تجعل للكافرين ولا للظالمين على المؤمنين سبيلا. اللهم اجعل المؤمنين هم الأعلون في كل مكان. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم ول أمورنا خيارنا، ول أمورنا عبادك الصالحين، ولا تول أمورنا شرارنا يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم فرج هم المهمومين من المسلمين، ونفس كرب المكروبين، واقض الدين عن المدينين، واشف مرضانا مرضى المسلمين، وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم بارك لهؤلاء الحاضرين، اللهم بارك لهم في أموالهم وأولادهم وحياتهم، واجعلهم مباركين أينما كانوا. اللهم اقض حاجاتهم وأصلح لهم أولادهم وأزواجهم. اللهم اجعلهم آمنين مطمئنين بأولادهم، مطمئنين بأرزاقهم، مطمئنين بحياتهم. اللهم اجعلهم مطمئنين إلى يوم الدين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنا نسألك حسن الخاتمة. اللهم توفنا مسلمين، توفنا مؤمنين. اللهم توفنا مسلمين والحقنا بالصالحين غير خزايا ولا مفتونين. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار، توفنا مع الأبرار، توفنا مع الصالحين، توفنا مع المتقين، توفنا مع عبادك الصالحين يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم أحينا وأنت راض عنا، اللهم أحينا وأنت راض عنا، وتوفنا وأنت راض عنا غير غضبان. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون، وسلام على المرسلين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. وأقيموا الصلاة.